So unfortunately, our hydrant in the barn is leaking. So that's no fun. That has been happening a little bit for the last like week or so. It's not like gushing out, but it's getting worse, and now it's to the point where it's like flooding out of the barn. It's getting in our chicken coop and it's just causing a mess. So I have to set my schedule clear for tomorrow. Dad and I are going to get busy working on it while Jameson works a full-time job. So my job is like a weird job where I can kind of work whenever I want to. So since I don't have time to film anything for the rest of the week because Dad and I are going to be working on that, and then I have plans for a couple of the other days, you guys are going to come along with me today and we're going to butcher some rabbits. And I know we just did a butchering video, but you guys really seem to like that one. So maybe I can give you some more tips and tricks, maybe not, but at least I think sometimes for some of you, watching me butcher rabbits kind of gives you the confidence to do it yourself. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. And yeah, that is the plan. I bought some cull rabbits from a friend. They are silver foxes, and we're gonna be butchering 5 silver foxes today. If you are not a fan of using rabbits for food purposes, then I would skip this video. I did the same exact warning in my first butchering video, and I still had people saying that they were upset and they were crying, and I honestly can't help it if you continue to watch the video after I have given you the warning. So if you don't want to see this, click away. I am not responsible for your emotions after the fact. I'm sorry. I have definitely come to realize that doing what I do on my homestead when we are butchering our own meat, there's a lot of people that have disconnect with where their meat actually comes from, and the fact that it actually does have to be butchered and processed and all of that, it is upsetting to some people. And I would like people to know where their meat actually comes from, and would like them to know that the reason that we do this is because we want our animals to be raised in a humane environment versus standard industry cramped situation, just not the best situation. I like to stay away from factory farming type products. So what I do is I raise my own meat here, or sometimes I buy culls that other people have raised that they don't want to butcher, and that's what we do here. So we butcher rabbits for meat, we consume the meat. None of this is a money-making thing. It is literally just us producing our own food. I am also going to show the dispatch on this video. I do cervical dislocation, so we use a piece of rebar and we essentially disconnect the spinal cord from the brain so they can no longer feel anything. And that's how they are dispatched. And so if that's going to bother you, please click away. Also, I don't want to bother anybody. I really, really don't. But like, it seems like people still just want to get upset and still watch it anyway and tell me what a terrible person I am. But I'm going to keep showing you guys because this is important stuff to know. We need to know how to butcher our own meat. We need to know how to be self-sufficient because our food system is a complete disarray right now, and if I can help you guys understand how to do this, that is just a great thing for me to be able to do. So I'm going to continue to do it. So I'm going to get these silver foxes lined up in travel carriers. They're currently in my barn in some larger cages. I'm going to get them lined up in travel carriers so I can easily get them out as I do them one by one. I'm not sure I'm going to go into as much depth as my how to butcher rabbits video went, because in that video I show you all the pieces and parts inside the rabbit and all of that. So I'm not sure I have time to do that today, but also I don't want to rehash things that I've already done. So I might just show you the process from start to finish, and then if there is something else that I think of that maybe I didn't say in the first video, I'll come back and I'll talk to you guys about it. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I need to get them done rather quickly, and hope you guys find this video helpful. All right, so I got our setup going on out here. We got our 5 cull rabbits. We've got our cooler ready that I just disinfected and bleached out. We've got a bucket with a bag in it for things that we do not want, like stomach and stuff like that. We don't use those. We've got our hanging tool up here, which I am not sure I linked in the last video, but I will link it in this one if I did not. Hose is ready to go. And we've got our hoof trimmers that I use to clip off the front feet. We've got our X-Acto knife that I use to do all of the detail, like butchering and then this knife that I use to cut off the head. And then also, because it's cold out, I also have a bucket or a stock pot full of warm water for me to dip my hands in. So yeah, it's cold outside, you guys. Also have my piece of rebar out here in the grass. We're gonna do it in the grass because I feel like it will be easier for me to get traction on the rabbits out here than it would be in the pea gravel. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So essentially, to prepare you for what's about to happen, I'm going to take a rabbit over to the rebar, set it on the ground, make sure that it's calm, get the rebar around the top of its neck, and very quickly we're going to step on it on each side and yank up on the rabbit's back legs, which immediately breaks the neck and separates the spinal cord from the brain. And the rabbit will possibly convulse, and we call those death throes. That is normal. It's just the body still firing signals of movement, but the rabbit isn't feeling anything. They're dead. It's all over for them once the neck breaks. So that's what we're going to show here in just a second. And yeah, and then we're going to go ahead and get to butchering. Okay. Try to have the rabbit as calm as you can when this part happens. You don't want them to have a bad day per se. You just want them to have one single bad moment. So behind the ears, step down, yank up. A rabbit is dispatched. It's as easy as that. And then I just hold them like this, sometimes until they're done convulsing. This one, I don't even think he knew that was coming, so we're not really even getting any convulsing on this one. But we're gonna go hang this rabbit up, and we're going to process him out. And it's basically as easy as that, you guys. Just when you're dispatching, make sure you have them securely under the rebar or whatever you use. Make sure they're secure, and don't hold back when you dispatch, because when we were very first getting started processing rabbits 4 years ago, that was our mistake. We just didn't we didn't have enough force. We weren't confident enough during the dispatch. So we've definitely learned since then to do it better. Okay, feet in, pull down, feet in, and pull down. Got him on there. So rabbit is dead. We're gonna go ahead and cut the head off. Put that in there because I don't use the heads. I know some people do, I do not. Some people feed them to their dogs, that is fine. My dog just has issues with digesting certain bones, so I don't want her having skulls. So, rabbit is dead, head is cut off. Now we're gonna go ahead and go around the legs like we did in our how to butcher a rabbit video. We're gonna go down the pelvis, and then we're gonna skin it. And then we're gonna get into the inside of it, but we're gonna go fast because it is cold, like I said. So you guys are just kind of along for the ride as I butcher and talk to you guys at the same time. I do like to do these rather quickly. When I'm not filming, I can do one rabbit usually within like 6 to 7 minutes, depending on how quickly I'm going. I also have to be very careful because my X-Acto knife is very, very sharp. I just changed the blade, and I do not want to get cut because it does not feel good getting cut by an X-Acto knife. So I'm gonna go ahead, now that we can peel it, get that off the tail there. And then pull the pellet off. Cut him off without even cutting anything, just by force. Then we're gonna cut off the front feet. There's one, and then, you guys see that? And then two. Now we can get into the rabbit, but I'm gonna rinse it off really quick because I do see some fur on there. So we're gonna rinse him. So what I told you guys to do on the butchering video, we're gonna pinch the abdomen here, and then we're gonna cut in, just make a slit, take your fingers and pull it open. You can't get it open because this is a tougher, older rabbit, so I'm gonna have to take my X-Acto knife and kind of work down gently. Now we got him open. Or her, it is a girl. Get all this stuff out of here that we do not want. Intestines, stomach, all that. We are going to keep the liver. Looks like a good liver. Looks like I may have torn off the part that had the gallbladder on it, so we are good to go ahead and put that in our Ziploc bag. Gonna save that. I love eating the livers, you guys. I think rabbit liver is probably one of the most delicious livers out there. It is very, very good for you. More people need to have liver in their diet, honestly. It's really good for you. Okay, so this is the uterus. Chickens are gonna have that. They love stuff like that. I don't want that. Kidneys are coming out. Kidneys come out. Still have a little bit of fat on them. We are going to also put them in the Ziploc bag. I don't like eating the kidneys. Some people do, but I also still want to try to do them a different way than I did them the first time, because I don't really like the way I cooked them the first time I ever tried them, and I just have never tried them again since. So we might try them, we'll see. Lungs and trachea. In my butchering video, I actually told you guys that I got the esophagus out, and it's the trachea. I don't know why I called it the esophagus. Somebody graciously commented saying that is the trachea, and thank you for that correction because I don't know why I called it the esophagus. We got our heart out, the bloodiest part of the butchering process. Getting the heart. You can hear my chickens, they're very excited now. And now we got most of the inside stuff out, so we are going to cut the tail off in the same fashion that I showed you guys how to remove the tail without cutting into the pelvis. Cut the tailbone. There we go. Get that out of there. I had somebody comment asking me why I preferred to pull the tail out that way, because it's just easier to cut the pelvis. In some cases it is, but Jameson and I actually really enjoy rotisserie rabbit, which it's a lot easier to do rotisserie rabbit if you have an intact pelvis that you can put the rod through to spin it in the grill. So that's why we tend to do it this way. If it works better for you the other way, go for it. We just really like rotisserie rabbit, and that's why we do that. Rabbit is all butchered out. We're gonna rinse them off, and then we're gonna throw them in the cooler, and we're gonna do the next one. And you guys, if you find that you don't feel like I'm giving enough detail on this video, please go check out my How to Butcher a Rabbit video, because that video I go into very comprehensive detail about everything, all the parts, all of the tools that I use and why I use them, more reasons why I butcher rabbits here on our homestead, and all of that. Make sure to go check that video out because it really is much more detailed than this one's going to be. This is just kind of you guys coming along to butcher rabbits with me. Just make sure to go check out that original video if you want to learn how to butcher rabbits and have a little bit more detail as I'm doing them. It was also much warmer when I made that first video, so I wasn't in a hurry to get back inside. So I am going to rush on these guys. Hopefully you guys don't mind. So we got him all done, and we are going to clip him down, or her, or whatever it was. It's not like it matters once they're butchered. Okay, got it all done. Throw this one in the cooler, go do the next one. But first I'm going to go dunk my hands in some warm water because my hands are very cold right now. This was a good idea. This is a really good idea. The good thing about dispatching and butchering and all of this in winter is that there are no bugs, there are no flies. It's very, very nice. And also it's cold enough that I don't even have to worry about bacteria growing, so it's really good. It's the reason why I'm gonna keep them in the cooler out overnight and all. So it's essentially a refrigerator out here. It's a good time to do it. It's just really cold.